Hey, welcome, ladies and gents, to the AEW Insider. This is the January 24th, 2019 edition. I'm your host, Lee Benz. I want to thank you guys for joining me for episode 3. This is your home for all elite wrestling. All elite, all the time. I mean, this is a spot to go, the one-stop spot for all the news, anything you want to know about Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, because he's going to AEW, Chris Jericho, Joey Janela, and many, many more. Anything that has to do with the elite, the Bullet Club, their family, their other organizations, any ties to the elite whatsoever. If you want to find news, you find it here. This is the spot. And until they take off fully, because their first pay-per-view isn't even until May, and I can't wait for it to come on already, Double or Nothing, we will be covering other wrestling promotions and any other news, gossip, and rumors. All right, we do get our sources from various online places and print. To name a few, The Wrestling Observer, Wrestle Talk, Cultaholic, Sam Roberts, PW Insider, Bleacher Report, Destination Pro Wrestling, and many, many more. So like I said, definitely check us out here on YouTube and on Twitter. It's under AEW Insider. Also come over and join our two groups. We have the WFW fan group on Facebook and the AEW Insider on Facebook. And if you guys want all WWE news and a little bit extra, but mostly WWE, definitely check out Jobber Jabber Wrestling Universe. My brother from another mother, Two Tooth, hosts that, and he is the man, him and his crew, and they got everything over there. Also check them out on Twitter. All right, let's see what's up this week. All right, the Elite dropped a new episode of Being the Elite. It came out on the 21st, and it was funny AF as always. Definitely peep it out on YouTube. Those guys have been putting out that show forever, and it is the bomb. It gives you a little bit of personal insights. They're hilariously funny. It has all the Elite in it. The new signings are AEW. They're making sure they all get to shine. And then also, even other people like Kenny Omega, who hasn't signed yet, but he's still part of the show. Marty Scurll will pop up, even though he's in Ring of Honor. He'll be joining AEW once his contract's up a little bit later this year. I think about 5-6 months from now at the most. At the beginning of it, Cody Rhodes acted like he signed Pretty Peter Avalon. Now, Pretty Peter Avalon is a great heel. Right now, he works mostly for NWA. I talked about him on last week's show. He didn't show up, but he sent somebody else in his place, made Tim Storm wrestle, blah, blah, blah. But Cody said he signed him for $1 million. Avalon was super stoked. He went off screen, then the Young Bucks came, and they said they all have to agree on it because they're all in charge of hiring talent. They all have the same position, what have you. So then they said, how much did you hire him for? He said $1 million, and they said, no way, we can't do that. We just spent $50,000 on pyro at a press conference. That's way too much. So then Avalon came back on screen. He was wearing a new AEW hoodie, what have you. It was hilarious. And then Cody had to break it to him that he was fired already. He told him he was getting $1 million contract, first class, airplane service wherever he went. And Avalon was definitely heartbroken. But that's a good sign that they definitely will sign him in the future. And then after that, Kenny Omega made an appearance, which is great because nobody's really seen or heard for Kenny because his contract isn't up until January 31st. And then he'll make his announcement. And you know he's going to AEW. He already turned down a major money offer for WWE, just like the Young Bucks did, just like Cody did, just like Hangman Page did, because they're all going to AEW. That's the spot to be right now, and everybody knows it. Let's see. So, Kenny Omega made a video. He's still happy he's on the show. And within 2 weeks, he'll be announcing, like I said. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and do this here. I'm trying not to read these so much and fly off the page, off the cuff, I should say, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Also, MGF made his appearance. Maxwell. He is the best heel in the game right now. So he did a skit, of course, when he acts all nice in front of Cody because he's a protege. And as soon as Cody steps off screen, he tells people that he hates him. They're the biggest D-bags he's ever seen. And when Cody comes back, he acts all cool and kosher. So, I mean, it was definitely funny. And like I said, they are giving AEW peeps the time to shine. They're giving their own little skits or segments. Joey Janela had a funny skit. I don't want to ruin it all. So definitely go check it out. It's Being the Elite on YouTube. They put them out as much as they can, usually once a week, unless their schedules don't allow it. As you see, I got a new addition to the setup here, the scenery. Got a nice little Hulk Hogan Wrestle Buddy from the 1980s I used to have when I was a kid. I bought it off a good dude on Facebook for only $25. Can you believe that? And as a little bonus for $5 more, he threw in this Ultimate Warrior toy that I used to have also, even though I can't stand a Warrior, but I couldn't pass on it for an extra $5. Let me see. Now on to some AEW news and gossip. There's some CM Punk news actually. AEW did finally give him an official offer because he said they called him up asking to be all in. He turned it down because they didn't really give him an offer. They didn't give a price. They didn't say what they wanted to do. They just said he wanted to make an appearance. But you know he's got ties with them because for that weekend at StarCast, he was there at Pro Wrestling Tees. He did an autograph session. So supposedly he turned AEW down again, but Pro Wrestling Tees, which I buy a lot of gear from, those guys in Strong Style brand are awesome. If you want your wrestling gear, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and go to Strong Style brand. They have everything, whatever you need for any wrestler, what you need. All right, so anyway, Pro Wrestling Tees filed a lawsuit, a cease and desist against a smaller company because they were making CM Punk shirts, and right now they have the licensing to do that. But when they put the cease and desist, they said it was from them, and they also included the name AEW Wrestling, which the fans will tell you, why would they include AEW Wrestling and a cease and desist covering them and CM Punk if AEW had nothing to do with it and CM Punk isn't signed to them? So they went on Twitter either today or yesterday, and they were trying to play it off and cover it up. But everybody knows that he's going to be signing with AEW. If he comes back to anywhere, everybody, all the talent that's unhappy, all the independents that are big names, these guys have so much money behind them, and they're passionate about it, and they're going to treat the wrestlers right. Everybody and their mother, if they have the opportunity, is going to AEW. And CM Punk will very soon. Mark my words. All right, let's see. All right, let me see. Triple H spoke out for the first time on AEW. He said pretty much that they are keeping their tabs on them, but they keep their tabs on many things. They're a global brand, you know what I mean? They're worried about streaming service with the WWE network, what have you. And they are looking at AEW, but they look at everything on a global scale, on a global basis. He kept it kosher, though, and it was very cool. He actually mentioned them and acknowledged them because you can't ignore them like they're not there. But he did talk about the network and a competition like Netflix, what have you. And the WWE network's still sweet. I pay my $9.99 a month every month. The price hasn't come up since it launched in like 2014. They got all on-demand content, and it's a good time if you want to see that. Let me see. All right, Cody and the Bucks also went and scouted the site for the next pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. It's their second pay-per-view location, and they were super excited, of course. It's being held at the MGM Garden. Tickets are on sale very soon. They're having a ticket announcement party at the talent pool at the MGM Grand on February 17th from 6 to 9 p.m. So if you guys are down in Vegas, definitely go there, take some pictures, take some footage, and send them to a brother, because I won't be able to make it there till they hit Florida, at least for the third pay-per-view, but I will be there. Hot Topic is putting out 6 special limited edition Elite shirts. Now, these shirts have been available on their, on Pro Wrestling Tees website. You can get all 5 of them. If you bought 5 of them at once, they threw in a bonus 6. But these ones are supposed to be like shiny, they're like, material, it's glossy, they're definitely nicer. But definitely Hot Topic, when you put them in your store, they said they're putting them in for a limited run. Please, the Bullet Club gear that's been there, the Young Bucks gear, the Pops and all that have sold like hotcakes. I buy 90% of my Bullet Club and all that gear from Hot Topic just so I don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. The only thing is that when you go to buy shirts, they have mediums there. I mean, they make them for guys who wear skinny jeans. There's big wrestling fans like myself, and a lot of wrestling fans, if you look at the audience, are bigger people too. So Hot Topic, don't forget about the big people, man. Go up a little bit past a medium or an extra large in store. Like, for real, it's ridiculous. Let me see where else we're at. Don't mind me. I'm just trying not to read off the paper the whole time so I don't bore you guys. I'm trying, go with the camera, yada, yada. Also, too, they put out a new show. They're actually doing a new show. It's AEW show. It's on YouTube. It's called The Road to Double or Nothing. So they're showing all the behind the scenes, all the preparation for the second big pay-per-view at the MGM Grand, them signing people, what have you. They show Cody and another higher up for AEW called Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That's 90210 actor Luke Perry's son, who is a wrestler, and he actually showed him extending the contract, and he accepted, which is awesome. There are also rumors that AEW signed two of my current favorite New Japan guys, a tag team. One used to be in WWE years ago. His name is Trent Beretta, and his best friend, Chucky T. They go by best friends. If you ever watch their YouTube show called Best Friends, Chucky T is hilarious, and Trent Beretta is awesome in the ring. So if they sign these two, I'm praying it's true, because those guys are awesome, and they're funny AF, literally. Let's go on to some WWE news. The Royal Rumble is this Sunday, and you know it's going to be a good one. I'm so glad that Lars Sullivan took himself out of the picture. Like, I don't laugh at mental illness. Your brother here's a little crazy. We're all a little crazy. But he got stage fright. His mind was screwed up. He didn't show up for wrestling. He was there on Monday Night Raw, supposed to premiere. He left the show. He was supposed to be in a WrestleMania match with John Cena, and he's so screwed up he dropped the ball. So good luck in all your future endeavors, Lars Sullivan. I never liked you from the start. Vince always liked big guys, but there are way better people who should have got called up before you and got those shots. So you did exactly what you should have did. Good riddance, and let the door hit you in the behind. You're going to be sitting there kicking yourself on that in a couple years, if not a couple minutes or a couple months. But my favorite rumor going around in WWE right now is that the Velveteen Dream is going to be at the Royal Rumble. The Velveteen Dream is amazing. I watched him on Tough Enough. His name was Patrick at the time. And on Tough Enough, he was the biggest douche. I hated him. I thought the kid was the worst. But since he premiered on NXT and got this persona, the Velveteen Dream, he is my #1 in NXT, besides Adam Cole, Bebe, of course. But the Velveteen Dream is supposed to be called up finally and make his appearance at the Rumble, and he is supposed to take Lars Sullivan's spot and fight John Cena at WrestleMania. If that happens, that is going to be so epic, it is not funny. I pray that it does happen. The Dream deserves it. He's the man. He went on Twitter and he said that one day he will fight John Cena and fans will rejoice. A little bit later, he put on that he knows what his worth is. And until WWE knows his worth also, he's not making appearances, he's not wrestling, he's not doing anything like that. And then he shut his Twitter down. Like, if you can just go follow anybody on Twitter, you have to put in a request and he has to accept it. And he's really not doing that for anybody right now because, you know, he's doing a kayfabe thing. But hopefully the Dream is going to premiere at the Royal Rumble and he's going to get a shot like he deserves because, I mean, he is awesome. Now, some 4 wrestlers have been cleared in time for the Rumble. It hasn't been announced, They haven't said they're going to be in it, but they do include Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10, Peyton Royce's boyfriend, and also the Bludgeon Brothers. So people know that Ty Dillinger, they like to make him number 10 because that's his gimmick, 10, 10, 10. So hopefully he'll come back out as number 10. And the Bludgeon Brothers and Bray Wyatt, they're hoping they're going to form the Wyatts back together with even Matt Hardy added in. I don't know if Matt's going to join them, but a Wyatt reunion would be good because all their careers need to uplift. What they've been doing on their own has been falling flat. The only one who's succeeded really is Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt would have too, but he had that affair with JoJo and his wife made it public on social media, and WWE does not like their dirty laundry aired. So he's been done since then, literally. Even though he's one of the most popular and most over, they don't give him any airtime. And that's his own fault. He had kids and all that. He had a wife. You should have kept it in your pants, man. I don't know why people cheat. Why get married especially? Never mind in a relationship if you're going to cheat. Just say stingo and bang whoever you want. You know what I mean? Let me see. Triple H has been working on his injury recovery also. He got injured at the Greatest Royal Rumble when him and Shawn Michaels took on Kane and The Undertaker. They were victorious, but he did something to his pec muscle. So he got the surgery and he just got the okay to train so he can get back in, wrestling shape. And they're hoping he's cleared in time for that match at Mania with Batista. My daughter and I cannot wait for Mania this year. We're going to be there for the whole week. It's going to be epic. We're going to be going to Broadway one night. She wants to go see Mean Girls, so we'll be doing that Thursday night. We're definitely doing at least 1 day of access, maybe 2 days. We're going to be at the Ring of Honor New Japan show at Madison Square Garden the night before. We're also going to be at WrestleMania that Sunday. But the event I'm looking forward to the most out of the whole week is from 10 in the morning until 6 at night. Well, I'll get to that in a little bit, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Let me see. There are also rumors that Ronda Rousey is leaving the WWE right after WrestleMania. When she said she signed a multi-year contract deal. She wasn't going anywhere. But rumors are floating around that her deal was for 1 year straight through to see if she likes it, get the fans used to her, and then she can have some time off and pop up here and there like Brock Lesnar does. You know what I mean? What have you? How The Rock comes back. And everybody knows she's been talking for a long time about going to a ranch in California and having babies with a UFC hubby. So after WrestleMania, you might not see Ronda Rousey for a while, which stinks because, I mean, she's okay. I mean, she did really, really good. I'm just not a fan of her. But they were supposed to have the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen match forever. The 4 horsewomen for WWE, of course, was Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. And she was supposed to be taking on Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, who's killing it in NXT, and her 2 cohorts that are with her. They're all 4 from USC. So it's supposed to be the 4 horsewomen at WWE versus the 4 horsewomen at UFC. If Ronda leaves, we might not be seeing that for a while, if not at all. And that really, really stinks because that match would have been epic. Speaking of JoJo, the ring announcer who cheated with Bray Wyatt, who know who's the home wrecker. I'm sorry, but it's true. She was on the first season of Total Divas. She's been off. I mean, there's been rumors that she's been getting backstage heat and people don't like her, yada yada. But it's come out that she had some personal issues. Nobody said what they were, but that's where she's been. So best of wishes, JoJo. I always liked you, and we hope you come back. You're good at what you do. Okay, now a big spoiler rumor was put out there today, and they took it down. Now they're trying to deny it, but I believe it's true. The network, which is only $9.99 a month now, WWE Network, definitely get it. First month's free. You get the pay-per-view included and all that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, they put out a post that they're doing Superstars. There was an old WWE show called Superstars. It wasn't that great, but it's still cool to go back and watch it. And in the description below, who was saying who was on it, it said WWE Hall of Famer, The Undertaker. Now, The Undertaker has not been inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. He will be, of course, but he hasn't been. So for them to say that, everybody and their mother knows he's going to be the #1 induction this year into the Hall of Fame. But WWE, of course, as soon as it went viral, took it down. They tried playing it off. But definitely, I bet my left nut that The Undertaker will be nominated in the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Also, it's been announced that WWE stole 2 Impact Wrestling stars. One is a big star. He's been with the company since the beginning. They have offered him multiple contracts in the past. He's like Impact's like #1 guy. How Sting was for WCW, how Taz was for ECW, Tommy Dreamer. Like, they don't leave, but they literally signed The Abyss. Now, The Abyss is awesome. He just got nominated into Impact's Hall of Fame last year. He's a big, huge guy. He plays a beast, but then he also has another persona when he plays his dork brother with a dork with glasses. So it'll be really cool to see The Abyss in WWE. I mean, every wrestler's dream, it's got to be to make it to the big show at least one time before you retire. You want to go up there, no matter if your run stinks or whatever it is, you got to go to the big leagues, and there's no bigger than the WWE. So I hope they give him a decent run before he retires, because he will be retiring soon. And they also signed Sanjay. He's an Indian wrestler. I believe he's Indian, but it's Sanjay Dutt. They used to have him in WWE, but they got rid of him, so now I guess they want him back because he's doing good. All these promotions and everybody are sitting there trying to steal talent and sign them up now that AEW's on the scene. There's people asking for the release, like Mike Kanellis and Maria, his wife. They asked for the release. They denied it on Twitter because they know they got scared. Now they're taking off all the scheduling. They're not scheduled for any events or anything. Their gimmick, like they were the greatest lovers of all. They were all about love, burning up in your love, yada yada. They were supposed to even have a big Valentine's Day special on the WWE Network. It's all scrapped now. Now they're sitting home collecting their paychecks until until their contracts run out, and they can't sign with anybody else. So they should have just pretty much kept their mouth shut. They probably could have got a release and went to AEW. Now they got to sit home, collect minimum money, and just, eat crow. That's what happens when you cross the boss. Everybody knows that. Let me see. All right, and that's really it there for that. Just make sure that you catch up on Raw, SmackDown, because, of course, they did the setup for the Royal Rumble this Sunday. You cannot miss the Royal Rumble this Sunday. I know it's going to be a good one. It hasn't really been good in a couple of years. Like, the Women's Rumble last year was better than the men's. It was awesome. But this year, I think the best match is going to be the men's match at the Royal Rumble. There's going to be a lot of surprises, what have you. And before it is NXT TakeOver. NXT TakeOver, their pay-per-views, 99.9% of the time is always always better than the main show. So definitely check out Raw, check out SmackDown so you can see the latest updates on what's going to happen at the Rumble. And definitely check out 205, NXT, and NXT UK for the week to catch up on that. See stars like The Dream, Adam Cole, Bebe, Undisputed, what have you. Those guys put it on, and that's where it's at. And I'm really thinking about doing another vid, maybe tomorrow and another day. I mean, saving all the wrestling for just one time a week isn't enough. By that time, news gets out. I have old news, blah, blah, blah. And there's just too much going on in the wrestling world right now to put out a video once a week. So I think I'm going to at least do 2 a week. And then I got the podcast. And maybe even just pop on, like I said, when big wrestling news comes on, just hop on real quick and put on a show for you guys. Because you guys deserve your news. And you want to hear it from a source like me, because I'm the man. You know what I mean? These other guys are fugazi. Let me see. All right, and like I said, I will be doing a live show after the Royal Rumble, and I can't wait. So definitely join me, my friends. Let's move over to some New Japan news. Now, New Japan was putting on their next pay-per-view in the United States. It's called New Beginning, but it was just announced due to the government shutdown. Everybody knows, if you know me on Facebook, on Twitter, in real life, I love the Donald. I don't care what you think of me. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, which would be ridiculous because you don't like somebody's political views, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has their own say, and you should respect it. And he is your president. But besides that, because of his government shutdown, this is the first time it affected me, and I am highly upset at him, that the Japanese wrestlers who work in New Japan cannot get their visas to come to the United States. So they cannot be at the pay-per-view, which is, it's insane. But the American wrestlers still can be, like Juice Robinson, Chucky T, Trent Beretta, you know, like all the U.S. guys are still going to be there. And then also the young lions are going to get a chance to shine. The young lions for New Japan is like NXT for the U.S. What was I going to say? Well, the big stars came from there. They started off as young lions. Shinsuke Nakamura, Okada, what have you. So even though the main star Japanese wrestlers won't be able to come on the show, it's going to give a lot of the young, lions a chance to shine, which is going to be really cool. So, I mean, it's going to still be good anyway. I'll definitely be watching. Check out New Beginnings in the States. It's either next week or the week after. All right, now what I was saying to him about WrestleMania weekend, my favorite part, the thing I'm most stoked for, is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday, April 7th, right before WrestleMania, the Bullet Club is throwing a legit block party. It's going to be amazing. It's all paid for by them and all that. They have a 4-hour open bar. They have 10 beers that you can have, selections. They have an extensive buffet that's put on by Jimmy's Famous Seafood, ridiculous seafood that you can have a plethora of. It's crafted by their master chef, Tony. They have a live DJ music and special guests. Plus the whole Bullet Club is going to be there. It's going to be a meet and greet. That's what I'm going to be looking forward to the most. And they're actually even providing shuttle service. They're not even hating on WrestleMania. They're providing shuttle service to MetLife Stadium after their block party's over, because they're letting it end right before Mania begins. So you can go there, have a good time, catch a shuttle bus, and go right to WrestleMania. So I think I might Uber it there that day, to be honest. Leave the car at our Airbnb. We got a sick Airbnb for the week in North Bergen, New Jersey. It's a whole place, what have you. It's ridiculous. But I might just leave the car there, Uber it over to the Bullet Club party, get totally wasted with my boys, you know, indulge in some of the activities that are there, and then just take the shuttle bus to Mania, have a blast there, and Uber it back to the Airbnb. I want to fully partake in the festivities with my boys, because, yo, the Bullet Club is the best. Bullet Club for life. Instead of just gathering a bunch of news, like I said, and doing a show in 1 week, I think I'm going to do it multiple times a week. Once I get this new editing software down, I had, Filmora, Wondershare, but it won't really work with what I record on. So I got this new app to edit, and then I'm going to be getting a new camera really soon. So once I get all the editing down and stuff like that, and it's easy breezy for me, I'm going to be putting out shows, multiple shows a week. And I'm actually thinking about getting not a new co-host, but a co-host to help me with it. It's not that I need help with it, blah, 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 but when you just tell the news in that, it can go really quickly. If I have somebody to bounce ideas off of and get conversations and get feedback, it'll also be fun for you guys, and it'll make the videos a little longer. If I could find a female co-host, that would be awesome, because there's not really many. So I'm looking for a female co-host who has a plethora of knowledge about wrestling, only because there's really not a lot of male-female, you know what I mean, podcast shows for wrestling anyway that I know of. They actually do a full hosting job, not just like a little side thing thrown in their 2 cents. So if you're a female and you know a plethora about wrestling, definitely I'm taking application. Nothing weird or anything like that. We don't even have to be in the same place. We can do it while you're there, yada yada, it's all good. If not, guys too, man, it doesn't matter. But I think in time a co-host would be good because it'll make the videos longer. You have 2 different point of views. We can bounce off each other. You know what I mean? It'll be all right. Let me see. And that's really it. Like I said, we're going to be doing a Royal Rumble video, which is going to be awesome, and an NXT video, and I'm going to be popping up a lot more. As soon as I get this editing app down, it'll be good, and then once I get my new camera, hopefully it'll work with the editing equipment that I have, the Wondershare Filmora. So, peace, we'll see you soon. I won't even say next week, because I'll see you Sunday. I'm going to do the podcast, too. Remember, it's the AEW Insider on YouTube. There's podcast on Anchor, iTunes, Google, Spotify, Breaker, everything. So definitely check the podcast out. That's once a week. Definitely come to Facebook and Twitter, the AEW Insider. Join our group on Facebook. Definitely join our partner group with Jobber Jabber Wrestling. It's a WFW fan group, but definitely check out Jobber Jabber Wrestling Universe on the same podcast that I named that mine are on, Anchor, what have you. Like I said, Two Tooth is the man. That's my brother from another mother. He's good peoples. If you love WWE, they won't steer you wrong, him and his crew. And definitely check them out on Twitter too, and on Facebook if I haven't said that. I appreciate you guys taking this journey with me. People are watching the show, you know what I mean? People are listening to the podcast. I'm getting subscribers. Like I said, I'm not in this for the money at all. I'm in it because I love wrestling. I do this in my part-time. I work like a mofo. I'm a full-time dad. I get my doses of wrestling in. I'm a huge fan. Definitely stick with us for April too, man. WrestleMania week is going to be sick. I'm going to have footage of all that stuff, like I said. Access, Ring of Honor Supercard, WrestleMania itself, the Bullet Club block party, plus a bunch of stuff in Jersey and New York. So it's going to be awesome. Like I said, if you don't let me down, which you guys haven't, I appreciate it so much. I won't let you guys down, all right? So tune in. Definitely hit that subscribe button, that like, share it if you like, but definitely hit the sub button so you know when we got new videos coming up, because they're going to be coming up. And I would definitely see you Sunday after the Rumble so we can go over NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble. It's going to be a good one this year, all right? So peace, peeps. Ciao.